You know, one thing that we talked a little bit tonight in the debates, but not nearly enough, and that has to do with national sovereignty. I'm an old-fashioned guy. I believe that we should still defend national sovereignty and our borders. And for that reason, that we should not be unconcerned about the move for those who believe in internationalism and globalism in the North American Union. We have enough problems to deal with here at home. We deal with our problems. We don't need the North American Union. And for that matter, we don't need the UN, the IMF, the World Bank, or the WTO. And what we need is freedom. That is what we need. And along with freedom comes responsibility. I tell the young people that if we do some wise things and cut the spending overseas, we can offer an opportunity for a transition period where we can literally take care of the elderly who have become dependent, at the same time allow young people to get out of the Social Security system and assume responsibility for themselves. Unfortunately, there are a lot in Washington on both sides of the aisle that believe that the government should be the nanny state. We are responsible for ourselves, and we're responsible for our children. There's parental responsibility. The government was never meant to be our parents. And now we live in a day where children can get permission from the government to have medical procedure against the parent's will. And today we have government laws that go against the parents who don't want their kids to have inoculations, and they haul off the parents and put them in jail. That's not part of America. And freedom of choice means that you have the freedom of choice in a free society to pick the type of medicine you want. I represent a certain part of medicine, but I'm also a strong believer in free choices, alternative medicines, and also nutritional products. And if you know anything about that, there's a systematic attack on your right to make your own choices, whether it's vitamins or nutritional products. And not only that, it's the government that comes in. Not only do they want to deny that, they want to come in and test all our kids mandatorily for mental health disease, with the idea that they want to put our kids on more psychotropic drugs. But then it comes along and a state passes a law and says that there should be legalization of medical marijuana. And what happens? They arrest people. They override state laws. The federal government comes in and puts people in jail that never committed a violent crime, and all they want to do is have a little comfort. We have lost our way because we have lost confidence in freedom. Freedom works. In a free society, which we had much more of a while ago, And freedom breeds prosperity. If you have too much government, you lose your prosperity. Today, our prosperity is going down. We are less free, and we are living on borrowed money. Yet, already, 75% of the American people know we're going in the wrong direction. Their economic standing is going down. This is a characteristic. It's a predictable event. It comes when you destroy money. There's a transfer of wealth from the poor and the middle class to the wealthy. You have more people struggling today to survive, and you have more billionaires on Wall Street in the banking and the military industrial complex than ever before. That has to change. The most magnificent thing about the freedom philosophy, it brings people together. And this is where at the beginning, before I decided to run, there were many of you who encouraged me to, but quite frankly, I was rather skeptical. I see signs on occasion that I have helped eliminate some apathy, but I have to say you have helped eliminate my skepticism. See, you just proved my point. We have a diverse crowd, and it brings everybody together. It's wonderful. But there's a reason why freedom brings people together, because you're not judgmental about how another person wants to run their life. You can be judgmental about yourself. You may pick and choose about your moral standards, but you don't have to preach to other people and say that you're going to live like I do and set all the standards. And you don't want to tell other people how to spend their money. So people come together under those conditions. But, the opposite happens when the wealth goes to the government and is centralized, and they control it through the tax system and through the regulatory system and through all the bad policies. People realize, well, they control everything up there. So what happens? There is rather healthy growth of lobbyists. All of a sudden they have to go to Washington, and they go up there and they're struggling to control the wealth. And that works for a while, and it has, until we overtaxed and we overborrowed, and now we overprint, and now the standard of living is going down, and now the government doesn't have anything really to pass out anymore, and now the American people are waking up, and they're sick and tired of it. That is why what we offer is so magnificent. It is one thing, people come just tonight, they said, well, what is your program for Florida? I says, my program for Florida is my program for New Hampshire and for Iowa and every single state, because my program and what the program of freedom is all about is protecting your individual rights to live your own life. In many ways, if I am to become the president, I ought to take a pay cut, because I'm going to reduce the size and scope of government and the responsibility of the president, because I don't want to run your life, I don't want to run the economy, and I don't want to run the world.